So good afternoon, everybody. Today I have the pleasure of talking to Matt Giles. Matt, please introduce yourself to everybody and the business community.
Hi, my name's Matt Giles. I'm the Managing Director of Tradeology UK Limited.
Brilliant. And Matt, just tell us a little bit about what you do and how long you've been doing it for.
Yeah, no problem. Well, the business was established in 2019. We are an IT recycling company. And basically we entered into the market in 2019 to help and support the education and corporate sectors to ethically recycle redundant IT equipment. Since then, we've developed into a two-strand business working in the consumer sector as well as the corporate and education, and that's largely down to COVID. And where we are today, we have Pre-Loved Tech, which is our consumer recycling brand, and Tradeology UK, which is our corporate and education brand.
That sounds amazing, Matt, and I love the recyclability and the pre-loved there as well. I know quite often we might end up with a new phone, and then what happens to the old one? So that's amazing. Who would you say throughout this time is your best customer?
Well, our business has developed over the last sort of 3 or 4 years, to be honest with you. We do a lot of work with partner companies. So what we generally find is that we partner up with a lot of IT support companies or IT resellers, and we provide a managed service to them so they can offer their recycling, offer a recycling service to their customer base. So we work with a number of large resellers across the country, including the likes of Computeam. We work with Tablet Academy, which are the UK's largest training provider. We also work with Soltech IT, which is a massive IT reseller down in Bristol. And we're just forging a partnership with a couple of other local companies. One is Bespoke Computers in Telford, which is fantastic. And another one is Welcome Communications, who are really big into the sustainable life cycle of products, and we've just partnered with that company as well. So we have a number of really big resellers that we wouldn't necessarily call our best customers, but we do collections and recycling for them every single week, basically. So we're heavily reliant on the partnerships that we've got there.
And that, yeah, it sounds fantastic. I love the sustainability, the environment friendly, and the growth. Now, you said that you set up in 2019. I am going to go with the C word, and it's not Christmas. It's more about COVID, because at that time you may have encountered some of the navigational challenges perhaps during that time. So what would you say that some of the changes were that you considered during that time that you've perhaps adopted and kept, if there is anything?
Well, COVID for us it impacted our business quite a lot. We established the company in 2019, and we incorporated in November 2019. So literally 5 to 6 months later, the country was in lockdown. You know, at that point in time, we had started to develop the business, started to branch out and get some partnerships. But obviously, as soon as the country went into lockdown, all of our customers closed their doors. Everyone went to work from home. Schools weren't open or weren't accepting collections. So for us, it really affected our business quite a lot. So we had to look at the mechanics of how we run our company, and to maintain the business, we had to pivot into the consumer space, which is when we launched Pre-Loved Tech. So Pre-Loved Tech provides an online location for users to come and recycle their mobile devices, ship it into us for free of charge. We then test those devices, and we pay the customers for them based on their residual values. And for us, that was the thing that kind of launched us, really. We went from an education and corporate recycler to pivot into the consumer space with a new brand. And fast forward sort of 18 months later, when the country came out of lockdown and we all came back to work, we had 2 businesses, but in essence, really, that were both kind of branching out into their respective verticals and doing really, really well. So I think really for us, it was not something that we latched onto that we've kept. It's just the way that we molded our business and had to change what we were doing to ensure we were still going to be around. And yeah, it's we put us in a really, really good situation. We've got two really strong businesses now under one umbrella that I think if it wasn't for COVID, we wouldn't have developed in that particular way.
How amazing. There's obviously some challenges experienced there, but also new direction and opportunities as well. So off the back of that, what would you say your biggest learning has been since you've been in business?
Expect the unexpected, be flexible, and listen to what your customer needs. If we hadn't have done that, I don't think we'd be around today. You know, if we'd kind of tried to push forward with the model that we'd had, I don't think we would have lasted COVID and we wouldn't have got through. So we looked at the market, we kind of evaluated what the recycling space needed during a time of lockdown, and we molded our business so we had success. So I definitely think it's understand your market, learn from what's going on, understand what your customer needs, and constantly be willing to change and develop to provide the service that your end user needs and wants.
Fantastic, and a lot of resilience there by the sounds of it as well, while navigating that change. And congratulations, you know, for I suppose accepting and exploring change as well, and yeah, for surviving the unknown. And you know, the current economic environment is constant change for everyone too. That brings me on to, what would you say your greatest success has been since starting your business?
I think really a large part of the last 3 years has been our consumer recycling, because the country was in lockdown. And literally within 12 months of establishing the Pre-Loved brand, we were nominated for an MIA, which is Mobile Industry Awards, Startup of the Year in 2021 and 2022. Actually, we were nominated 2 years in a row. And for us, going up against people like Music Magpie, Mazuma Mobile, and providing a service that the feedback from customers was on a par or sometimes even better, for a very, very small team, that's a massive success for us. And I think we've grown as a company based on the feedback that we're getting and the service that we provide. So for us, really, it's the success of Pre-Loved Tech, and where we are in the marketplace for such a small company. I say such a small company, for a growing company. We've got a really big foothold in the recycling industry, and we're growing at a very, very rapid rate at the moment. It's very hard to kind of keep it grounded, so we can grow at the right kind of speed.
Yeah, that evolution between startup and scale up, that tends to come, yeah, at that pace. And
I think at the moment the sustainability piece is such a big thing at the moment. Every single business and consumer out there is getting very savvy about how to recycle their equipment, and potentially what it's worth. So for us, you know, it's staying ahead of the game, really.
Fantastic, and congratulations on the 2 years running as well for the awards, because that's recognition, you know, to be in that pool of people, companies, and be recognised that that you are in that space. So congratulations for that too. What excites you about your business?
Oh, do you know what? I think where we can get to in the next sort of 5 to 10 years is really, really exciting. I think probably the recycling industry is one of the fastest growing industries in the UK, if not the world. Every single supplier of new IT has to provide a route to recycle for their customers, and that is by partnering with companies like us. So for me, the excitement is how rapid the space is growing and how rapid the industry is going. And actually as well, the need for second life hardware is growing as well. So if you look at new products like phones and tablets and laptops, especially with supply being constrained a little bit off after COVID, a lot of people now are turning to refurbished devices as well. So the market for second use electricals and recycling as well is growing at such an exponential rate at the moment that for us, I feel that we've come into it at such a good time that we can grow in line with the market. And I think realistically, the sky's the limit for us. And yeah, we've just got to grab hold of it and grow in line with the industry. But it's really, really exciting where the whole recycling and circular economy is going at the moment.
Fantastic. If you could take that feeling, looking back on your journey so far, what 3 words would you use to sum it up?
Hard work. I know that's 2 words.
We'll count it as 1. That's fine.
Stressful, and trying to develop a new business through COVID has been extremely stressful. It's 12 to 14-hour days, 7 days a week for a long period of time, but also inspiring. What we do is we don't just bring in kit and then sell it. We're creating an eco-friendly business. We're helping the environment. We're diverting equipment away from landfill. Landfill is growing at such a massive rate. 56.5 million metric tons were deposited, and only 17% of electronics was correctly recycled in 2020. So for us, it's having an impact in creating a cleaner environment and creating a circular economy. So it's really inspiring, the work that we're doing.
Amazing. So we've got hard work, stressful, but equally inspiring. So that's fantastic. And I just have one last question for you. What advice would you give someone starting out?
I get asked this quite a lot, and to be honest, it's a question that I asked people when I was sorting my business out. Know your market and do your research, but don't be scared to go for it. Everything has to be a measured kind of leap, but if you don't go for it, you never will. I researched my market quite in depth. I knew what my customer needed, and I knew how the industry worked. And to be fair, that helped. So definitely know your market, do your research, and yeah, don't be afraid to take risks, because if you don't take the risks, you won't succeed.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing that.